Welcome to the New Cycle Pod. I'm your host, Tino Thomas, and today we have special guest joining us, Jordan Hamlett. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Welcome.
All right, welcome in. Welcome in. How you been, man?
Been pretty good. Just been chilling, really. How you been?
Pretty good, as always. Just living along, going with the flow, man. June's been pretty awesome. Can't lie. Big events, a lot of partying. Seen a lot of people I didn't think I'd see, but here we are.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people this last week.
Really?
Yeah. Like old elementary school friends. It's pretty crazy.
A lot of throwback people, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. Well, how's this month been for you? How's work been?
Work's been good. Kind of boring, but it is what it is. Getting a new job.
Ooh, new job coming up.
Yeah, that's big things. Higher pay, a little bit better hours.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
I've been really wanting to watch the sunset and whatnot. But my job, I get off at 11:30.
Well, isn't the sunset usually around that time since it's...
Well, yes, but also in the winter and all that, I never really got to see it. So
Gotcha.
So when the sunset in the winter, it's early.
Early,
but
around 8 o'clock? 7?
Yeah, so that's around when I get off. So it's kind of nice. Go peep the sunset,
Peep the sunset. Why not?
Yeah.
Well, that's what's up. Sunsets and whatnot, man. How's June been? Aside from work, of course.
June's been pretty good. Been doing stuff every week, which is nice.
Getting out there.
Whether it be going to a friend's house, whether going out,
Of course.
It's always fun. And then that walk that we went on, that was fire.
That was pretty amazing.
That was an amazing walk.
It was a very random day, but it was action packed.
Very much so.
Holy moly, man.
So,
wow.
yeah. How's June for you?
Oh, sick.
Sick.
Sick in the awesome way. Not I've been sick, but
yeah,
not this month. That ain't happening.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, thankfully. Well, shout out to him. But honestly, it's been really awesome. Seen a lot of people, met a lot of people, introduced a lot of people to more people. Definitely been really fun. I definitely feel like things are preparing for the birthday, which is coming up here soon, which also your birthday's coming up soon too.
There's a lot of birthdays. Aaron, mine, yours, Kyle. It's going to be a wild time, for sure.
It's going to be a lot indeed. Shout out Jeff too. Jeff, I know your birthday's coming up in 2 days.
Oh, no way.
Yep, Jeff's birthday's going to be here soon, man.
That's going to be fire.
Everyone's turning the big 21. And this weekend we also have the Summer Solstice Festival to look forward to as well.
That is going to be a good one. I'm excited. Sadly, I can't make it on the Friday, but, I got Saturday, Sunday. Live it up.
Sunday. Friday is Waka Flocka.
I know. I kind of wanted to go to that one.
It's all good.
But,
see if I can sneak a glimpse for you.
Yes, please.
I'm if I do it one day, I don't know if I can do it again. I got a special entry ticket to get in.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
I think we've discussed this
before. Oh, yeah, we've discussed it.
It's okay. The audience will know when I will release a small short video for you guys on how I got in. But, on the special ticket, the VIP pass, I have, maybe we'll conduct some interviews and see how the guests are doing.
That'd be fire.
That'd be heat. Well, how would you say your mental state has been?
Mental state. I think I'm at the best point I have been this year. At the because the beginning of the year was a little rough, but
Of course.
It's definitely getting better. Definitely trying to get out there too, so I'm not so cooped up in the house and whatnot. So I can,
Do you feel cooped up at home?
A little bit, because it's I guess I feel like sometimes I just really don't, the things I want to do, I'm not used to doing it alone, you know what I'm saying? So it's do I want to go do it?
It's it's easier to have someone else there to give that nudge, that extra push.
Yeah, which I'll probably get over that here soon. That spot that we found with that seat. Oh, I'm gonna go there all the time.
To find a chair in the middle of the woods, literally saying like this is a safe space, is like magical.
No, that was a very dope experience.
Remember when we came to like a pathways because we walked back from a trail and it was like, which way do we go? And I was like, we naturally it feels like we're supposed to go this way.
No, yeah. And I remember you like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
I was like, man,
dude.
But no, that was dope.
Yeah, there was like out of every choice we made, we could have made any other choice and we would not have ended up there. And like,
that is true.
Seeing it like that is
and
really
might
cool.
not have seen that beaver.
No,
so, that was a cool experience.
Shout out to the beaver was the first guy we found.
Yeah. I've never seen a beaver before. That was cool.
No, me neither. That was a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah.
First time seeing a beaver, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Holy man! All right, I want to talk about it, man.
All right, man.
So as you've seen, it's been a common theme on the show where I will talk about the dating scene in our generation. We're young, and I from a male perspective, what do you believe the male dating scene is like out here?
Male dating scene.
Yeah. What are the women out there looking like right now?
I don't know too much because I'm not out there like that. But I just hearing from people, seems like no one really wants anything serious at the moment, and it's kind of just like a have fun kind of summer vibes, Or what's the saying?
I'm thinking of like City Girl,
yeah,
Hot Girl Summer.
Yeah, Hot Girl Summer. That's what I feel like is going around.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Seems rough.
A little bit.
Seems rough if that's not what you're looking for, but
yeah, I don't know. I definitely hear a lot of, I guess, just toxicity going around at certain times.
Let's expand on
with
that.
certain people, because it's like, in the past too, but like I've heard stories from people saying like, who knows if it's accurate or not, but like, the guy is just treating me terrible, or the girl wasn't treating me right, and so it's like, I don't know. Have you heard something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. And what's strange about it is that it does come from both parties. And then that leaves it up to question is like, who's really right here, or why did this even start to begin with?
Exactly.
What is your personal experience? Would you say you've experienced anything like that of the sort to sort of justify those stories?
What, being in like toxic situations?
Yeah.
And stuff? I've definitely had a couple toxic experiences. I wouldn't hold it to the person because it was nothing, completely bad. It was I'd say more communication errors and just at times like maybe verbal abuse.
Maybe verbal abuse, yeah.
But other than that, nothing too serious.
When you say communication issues, like, is there a big difference between communication and comprehension for you?
Comprehension.
Yeah, like if I told someone to go get me a purple wrench and they bring me back a wrench and it's red, I communicated I wanted a purple one, but they got me a red one. They just they thought it was purple. It was more of an understanding sort of thing.
I guess not really in that sort of things, in that side of things. I mean, I'd say just not very straightforward.
Like at all.
At times. I've definitely had situations where communication was great and everything was smooth. But there's definitely times where it's like you try and get to the point and tell them how you feel or whatever, and like, hey, I don't like this, and then either they don't really give you an answer or kind of just push it off.
What?
Yeah.
I would call that toxic.
In
That is
yes, but I feel like that also that also could be from like past things, you know, because I could understand that to a point of like maybe pushing it off for now and then coming back to it. Like I've had that happen.
Right.
Um, and you know, it's good that they like eventually will come back to it at at their own time, but um, it's still like, but what if I want to talk about it now?
I mean, but in those cases, if they wanted to put it off for more time, do you not find it to be like they can easily say, "Hey, I see this. I'm gonna take some time to think about it, and I can get back to you later."
Oh, I agree with that. Like as long as you are straightforward about that, you know,
able to communicate.
Yeah,
that.
able to communicate that and like let your partner know that hey, I need some time to think about this.
Right. Because otherwise, it just feels like personally, at least for me, I know I'd feel like I got left on red, or I'd be like, damn, like am I just not gonna get an answer?
Yeah. And then I've been in situations like that, but I mean, the best you can really do is not let it get to you, and if something comes back to you, then it comes back to you.
How do you deal with situations that you're unhappy in and you don't see things change too much? Do you push forward for another talk, or do you let it go sometimes?
I'm not gonna lie, that's a good question. I guess I've never really handled that all too well. Dang. Yeah, that's a tough one.
How would you handle it in the prime situation? How would you like to handle it?
Handle the change.
Like, let's say the issue was, I don't like the way you go out on Fridays without me, or knowing we're both off. Like,
yeah.
And you say that, and then they just leave it on red and then come back to it for 3 days. What do you do then?
I mean, I feel like I would push maybe at least something out, like some sort of conversation. Like, hey, this don't got to be a long talk or anything like that, but hey, can we at least, let me know how you're feeling,
right,
about what I said. I feel like that's how.
Like some sort of response.
Yeah,
anything.
Just anything, and I'll be fine.
I definitely feel as if, like, because in those situations, it's like anything is better than nothing. Because nothing, now it's all up to the imagination.
Like, even if they say, oh, no, but I really like going out with my friends,
Right.
I'm like, okay,
That's an
well,
answer.
is there a way we can work around this? And then if they don't see another way to work around it, then I don't know.
And it is what it is.
It is what it is.
We'll compromise at some point, but
yeah,
the conversation has to be started if someone has the issue, which is nice.
Yes, I agree.
So moving back to the dating scene. So you're saying that not everyone, you're saying what you see is, from your perspective, no one wants anything serious. Now, would you call that like the hookup culture being normal, or are they not even looking for that even, would you say? Or what's your stance on that?
Stance on hookup culture in general, or
hookup culture in general, but is it also what you see out here?
Yeah, I guess. I guess that's more so what I see rather than people trying to actually like get into that sort of relationship with somebody. And me personally, I've never been in, I guess, the hookup culture. I'm more of like a straightforward, one person guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do notice a lot of people, and no shame to them, but
no shame, no
do
shame.
What you gotta do,
you gotta do. But and that it's normal now. Like, it's become a normal thing, which is kind of
and I've definitely noticed that.
Surprising. Dang.
But there are a lot of people nowadays that still are into that whole like relationship and not really big on the hookup phase. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But they don't really say much.
No. Would you say because hookup? I just thought about this recently. I personally would say, like, or I believe, at least it's worth the question asking is, since hookup culture is now normal,
Yeah.
is wanting a relationship now not. And that alone gives a lot of people anxiety to sort of even pursue that sort of thing nowadays, or at least come out and say it.
No, yeah. Like at times it's like, oh, do I should I try, or are they gonna want to? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I can definitely see that side of thing.
Oh yeah. But I gotta hear it from you, Jordan. How do you approach the woman? I want to know.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't honestly.
What?
Yeah, no. I guess it's because I was telling you about this. I guess I told you about this some other time, and it's like I just get sort of anxious.
Yeah.
And I know, like, you know, I really shouldn't. It's just talking, but like at times I'm like, damn, I don't know what to do.
Man,
like my mind just goes blank.
Goes blank.
You know, although in like a group setting and getting introduced to somebody,
oh yeah, it breaks that tension.
That breaks that tension, and it makes it easier. Especially getting to know them and everything. So
I would say the hardest part of that sort of thing is the initial high.
Yes. Yes. That can always, the high and bye. The middle ain't so bad. But like the buys can be a little awkward too, you know.
The buy was hard.
You're like, bye.
Oh, dude. Oh no. That just recently happened.
Yeah.
Where the buy was really hard. I'll admit. Like I was like fumbling all around. It's because it's a rare thing that I get out of anyone else's car at that.
Oh,
I spilled the drink on my way out of the car.
Oh no.
It was very embarrassing, but I was cool with it totally. Dude.
Dang.
Yeah. You know when you got all your stuff in your hand.
Yeah.
It was very embarrassing, but it was
But I also feel like the embarrassing moments at the beginning definitely help.
They do.
In the relationship for friends, or if you want to exceed more, you know.
Question.
Answer.
Would you say it's easier to transition from being friends, best friends, into dating, or no? Or would you, like, at least when you think about it?
I feel like it depends, because I've seen best friends, like they've been, say two people have been best friends for years.
Yes.
They could end up together, you know, if things end up right. But there's also a lot of people that can't see that happening, like, oh, I see you as a brother, I see you as a sister, or stuff like that. Right. So I feel like in a way that's very kind of like 50-50, but I'd say more friends into like an actual relationship.
Friends into relationship works out a lot easier than friends to best friend to relationship.
Yes. But I do think realistically a good relationship, becoming best friends, I feel like would be a good step for that whole relationship.
Right. Personally, I find that like so hard to like believe at times. And yes, I've had a partner who was like my best friend, but we didn't best friend before dating. It was like
you'll become best friends like you know when you're together, you know, because that might be the only person you ever really talk to and hang out with all the time, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like you're gonna form that best friendship together.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what do you think?
It's just like going into that best friend, like it. As someone who's had a female best friend before, and I found all that out after, and all that, the best friend zone is a real thing. Like that's why it's like I wouldn't have even guessed.
But it's not a bad thing either.
It's
like,
not.
You could have some of the realest people. You know?
Always.
So.
And it's fun just being together, and knowing that there's not no sort of
like deeper
ulterior motive or things like that. When even though there might have been some part.
I hear a lot of stories about how there is.
Gosh, that's
but you know
spooky.
A little bit. That's dangerous territory.
It's very dangerous
because even like if one person isn't feeling the same, that could like ruin the whole friendship.
The whole vibe of the friendship is now weird.
Yes.
Especially when you guys are like best friends and you guys do spend some time just where it's y'all.
Mm-hmm.
It can get a bit rocky.
Yeah, a little bit awkward and
silent. And when in silence, just like,
yep.
Turn on the music.
Let's do something.
Do something. Now it's always we got to do something instead of we can't just chill no more. Damn.
Yeah, but honestly, how do you feel about chilling in silence?
Shit, I do it all the time.
Yeah, well, like with others.
Mm-hmm.
I think that can be very peaceful at times.
Always.
Especially when y'all are just listening to music, chilling.
Oh yeah, man.
Talking and
Damn, you cannot call it a relationship if you guys can't sit in silence together or be both just doing your own thing in the same room.
Yeah. And
be perfectly okay with it or not even saying any words.
And you know what? I've learned about that. In this past relationship that I was in, I learned about that, and I was like, wow, that's nice.
It's nice.
Because back then, I was like, oh, I think we need to do something, because I felt like I didn't want them to feel awkward or anything,
Oh, okay. So it was like a sense of, I don't want you to feel weird by us just sitting here, but
yeah,
it got to a point with the last one where it was like, this was okay.
Yeah, like they could go do their homework or play games. I'll play game, whatever,
I think some of like the coolest moments is when like, at least for me, was when I was playing the game and I'd say something out of pocket and I'd look back.
I did the same thing. We were playing 2K.
Oh yeah.
And then oh my gosh, you said something out of pocket, and I just look back. They're looking at me, laughing. I'm like, don't mind that.
Don't mind that. Yeah, it's like. It feels like you're always on like a YouTube video.
Honestly.
It makes it really cool, admittedly. Yeah. But, damn. That's gas. Yeah, definitely the sitting in silence. It's a different level. That's how you know you've hit a different level with them.
Oh, yeah. That level of comfortability, if you got that, you're solid.
It's like a drug.
It really is, honestly.
Like
I don't want to go out.
Yep. No, I mean, okay. We touched on something, and when I was in my previous relationship a while ago, you guys said I stopped going out.
Yes.
And I did.
Yes, you stopped coming out with us.
Oh,
which,
man.
I don't blame you, because I've done the exact same thing. Especially if that's someone that, like I guess the main person you're hanging out with all the time, feel like, that's what you'd rather do.
Right.
And which makes sense.
Checks out.
Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people have been in that situation.
Of course, no, I believe so.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask, like, do you consider that to be like a good or a bad thing?
Depending on the situation, I feel like it could be good or bad.
Gotcha.
Like if you, not necessarily just in the idea of going out, but like the idea of getting yourself outside. Doing something for you rather than, I guess, when you're in that relationship for like you two or us type situation,
Right. So it's like only when it's like codependent based is it a bad thing?
Yeah, it can be. Can be. But some people just genuinely like that, and who knows? They might not have too many friends, and but
they're all they need,
Yeah. I mean, but then again, let's be real. When you're in a relationship, going out, it's like, I'd kind of rather stay home at times. At times, unless they're coming with me, then low key,
it's like double the fun.
Yeah.
Now we're double dipping.
Right. So I don't know. I've had my fair share of both sides. So.
Oh, dude, I used to think the same thing, but like, dude, like. I'm so glad I got back out there. It was really hard. I gotta admit, I'm super glad I did. And as everything played out, I really was like, damn, nothing can take those moments away.
Oh, nothing,
man. And I think the greatest parts about that sort of comfortability and being with just the one other person was that I can always come home. to said person if, you know, if we need it. Yeah, I am not needed, but like, you know, at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, you know. Go back to like the safe place kind of, you know. Vibe.
Yeah, safe. This is a safe place, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And having them in that sort of zone, but I never truly knew how to feel about it because I would always reverse the role. And I mean, like, if you went out, you just ended up coming home with me at the end of the day. How would I feel about it? And that was.
Ooh, I've thought about that too, and that's a tough question, I guess.
It's not easy.
Because it's like, at the end of the day, obviously, I'd want you to come back home to me.
Right.
You know?
Of course.
Or if like you need anything type situation, I'd come to you. You know, you can ride this and that. But yeah, that is a tough question to try and answer. I feel like it's something you'll find out later in the relationship.
When it happens.
When it happens.
Or if it ever does.
Yeah.
Even at that. Personally, I've hit a point where it's like, back then, like I don't believe I was cool with it, which made going out for me really hard because I knew like I was like, if I were to reverse this situation, I'm not okay with this.
Yeah.
And this is why I was like, I'm just gonna stay home. And then at some point, I was like, damn, I do want to go out with, because I know it's just the boys, but
yeah,
you know how it be sometimes, and
fair enough.
It's not like we did anything crazy, but you know, one of the guys might bring a female, and then it just gets in the video, and
they're like, "What was that?"
Yeah, you know? Exactly.
Right. I would. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. I wouldn't want to be in that situation either. You know.
Yeah, like, but nowadays I'm just be like, you know, it's cool because if I'm in a relationship with you, I'm gonna trust you enough.
No, yeah, that trust. If it's not there, then you guys need to have that conversation.
Yeah.
And figure it out.
Can't have a relationship
without trust. You know. That is. It's like number one.
Number one. And learning that was a really hard experience, I will say. Because when you're in the relationship, it's really hard to see that as a mistrustworthy thing. Like, oh, I don't trust you. You see it more as, well, no, I don't trust them. Or I don't trust the people you're around.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
But I feel like as long as you address it, then because they might not know that somebody could have some sort of like intention, right? You know, and I feel like if you address that, it in like a good situation, it should be resolved. You know, like not like, oh, I'm never gonna hang out with this person, but like, keep your distance.
Watch your toes.
Watch what's gonna happen.
Right.
And I do think that there is a situation where love is very blinding.
Yes, absolutely.
Because, like, who knows? They could go out and you're like, oh, I'm so in love with them. They won't do nothing, whatever. And then who knows? They could. You know? You really never know. But that's also the tricky part of the trust. Because love is so blinding.
We're going to loop back around here. Do you believe that's where like the toxicity might come in? Because of the blindness. You don't really see it until you're out of it or through somebody else telling you because they're not in it.
That's a good question. I feel like that has a factor into it. Yeah, I definitely feel like that plays a part.
How do you feel about people who bring previous tendencies into current day relationships?
Ooh, definitely not healthy. But you know,
it'd be
yeah. But I mean, some things obviously take time to yourself. If you know you're getting out of a relationship, take that time to yourself so you can get those tendencies worked on. And I know some tendencies you can't necessarily work on by yourself, because I feel like some are like relationship tendencies, you know, that you might only know how to fix with another person there to help you, if that makes sense.
I believe that plays a big part in the issue, though, is the illusion of you can't fix this by yourself.
Well, it's not necessarily that they can't fix it by themselves, but it's like...
It's a bit harder.
Yeah, it is harder. I just feel like in certain situations, like jealousy side of things, I feel like that can be helped in a relationship. I feel like that could be something that could be worked on. Because how would you necessarily work on it by yourself? Yeah, you can, work on you and whatnot, but how do you fix jealousy by yourself?
See, but jealousy ties exactly right into that trust. You wouldn't get jealous if you trusted them, but you can't have a relationship without trust.
That's fair.
So working on that while in the relationship, would you not say puts a big strain on it?
At times, I feel like it can, but yeah, it's them I guess, learning how to trust again, in a way. Yeah, because what's an example of like somebody being jealous, not in a relationship?
Well,
and how they fix it.
Let's say I went out to dinner with somebody, and as just friends, and they saw me go out to dinner with someone else who also happened to just be my friend, but they got jealous about it because now they didn't feel as special, or or something of the sort. You don't have to be in a relationship to feel those things, because the only difference is now it's more like they won't talk to you about it. They'll just go out of their way and be like, wow, I didn't mean anything, and they'll ignore you, or they'll like ghost you. Those are some tendencies that actually do happen sometimes out, or at least ones that I've experienced. And I didn't know about it. I mean, honestly, I didn't know about it. I was like, I thought we were just having a good time, but
yeah, I mean, you really won't know about it until they address it.
Yes, of course. And it's like, I didn't. Most of the time, it's like I didn't even know.
Like, my bad.
I didn't even know that was going on. Yeah, I didn't know this was like a date or anything. We were just going out. But anyway, taking it back. But that's like an example of like a jealous situation where you could work on that. Let's see. Did that ever happen to me where I was the one who was jealous?
With a significant other?
Well, no, not with a significant other. Outside of a relationship. I feel like that can happen between friend groups, where if you're like left out of an event, and you're like, damn, I didn't get invited. It definitely took me a while to get to that point where I was like, oh, I'm okay with not being invited.
That's fair.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. Like, I'll be at the next one maybe, but I definitely had to work on that for a little bit back like in high school, especially. But that's another like situation where you can just the jealousy thing in general. I feel like if you work on that in the general sense and outside of the relationship, it'll be a lot easier to transition into that without it being so hefty.
Yeah, I could see that. I do, at least situations I've heard of, like, jealousy. I feel like everybody's going to get jealous at some point, in some way. But I feel like with a significant other, it's a little easier to get jealous, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Especially if you're more insecure with yourself, and like bringing that extra baggage in, like that'll definitely have a factor to play.
It will, yes, definitely, indeed. I definitely believe the easiest way to cure jealousy is to fix the insecurities first.
Yeah.
If you're fully confident in yourself, you'll never truly be like, damn, they didn't invite me because they didn't want me to be there. No. You just didn't happen to be there. That's okay. Sure. Or it was a girls' night. I get it. We have the boys' night sometimes.
Yeah, we have boys' nights.
Girls' nights always seem a little crazy.
A little bit.
Maybe it's just because we're guys. It's
maybe.
It's a little different. Boys' nights is fellas and beer and alcohol, I guess. Maybe some games. Girls' night is I have no idea. So
no clue.
No idea. It's always different.
Yeah, always. You never know.
I guess that's the joy of girls' night, isn't it?
Yeah. Although we've had nights like that, not gonna lie. We're like, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Those weren't boys' nights.
Well, they didn't end that
way. they were not boys. Wasilla was never a boys' night.
That was the initial thought that night.
No, it was not. Not for us. My bad. Yeah, no. We've had some crazy nights.
Yeah.
Well, what moments in life stand out the most to you?
What moments in life?
Yeah, like when you think about moments that stand out to you the most, what would they be?
I would say making memories with friends. That's a big one. And stuff to look back on and be like, damn, that was a dope life, you know?
That was heat.
Like, I did that.
Yeah.
So, and I guess really finding yourself. Because there's times where you might be in a situation where you feel like you're lost within yourself. And then you might pick up something that really brings out the real you, and you find that joy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That was so real. I love that answer.
What would your answer be?
I would rough it around there. I always think about I live my life like if I were to die tomorrow, what would I remember first? And honestly, all those times that flood my mind, at least, would be all the times I spent with everyone. Whether it was the times with the homies, we're all drinking and cheers, salute, This is why now I'm kind of known for just carrying the tripod with me, and I record these things. Yeah, they mean a lot. The simple moments where it's like, I couldn't even dream of this. If you told me this was going to happen yesterday, I wouldn't believe you. That's crazy.
Right? Oh, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And yesterday was a perfect example of that.
Very perfect example.
Renaissance Fair 2023 was amazing.
It was great.
Oh, man.
A lot of familiar faces. Woo! Fun day.
I met up with someone from middle school yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, after the Renaissance Fair. And, dude, I had a blast.
Oh.
This was like the second time I've ever been in a car with someone who drives manual.
That's crazy.
I was like, that was cool as fuck. Shout out Aaron in the Honda Civic Type R, man. I had to bring you up. I was like, damn, there's only...
Manual?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's manual. You got to get in Aaron's car one time. He would love to have you in.
Oh, yes. Yes, Aaron, notify me.
Oh, my goodness. But yeah, they were whipping. We were listening to K-pop. It was a blast. Hey. I couldn't believe what I was doing. Damn. They work at FedEx now, too. And I was thinking about maybe going back there, but maybe not. I don't know.
It's got a lot of potential.
It's got a lot of potential, yeah. But in terms of like the working, I don't like to have my mind be occupied by the thought of money, because I believe that is pushed so hard, and people focus on the money aspect of life too much because it is such a prominent thing. But when I look on it, it really is like we print money, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Money, I see what you're saying. I do wish we could focus more on the life aspect of things rather than, I need to do this for the rest of my life to, just to afford to live, I feel like we'll get there at some point, but it's going to be a while, which, it sucks to hear that. It's like, there's people hungry and, not living a very great life. But they still try and make the most of it.
Of course.
Which is the biggest thing, But, yeah. And then them printing money. It's like, you want to send me some? Send me some. So.
They ain't, no.
Just give everybody,
You know damn well they want to keep you poor, bro.
Yeah, because that gives them more power.
Yeah. I totally believe that's really all it is. But cut number 3 or so, something like that. And We're gonna come up with the last question of the podcast for Jordan here.
Yes.
Jordan,
Tino.
what do you look for in a woman?
What do I look for? You gotta have. All right, what do I look for? Obviously, you gotta have the basics. Good communication skills, loyalty. Let's see. Honesty is key, because if you gotta be straightforward with what you want. Otherwise, the person won't know.
Right.
There could be a situation where you'd be like, well, you did this and I didn't like it. You didn't tell me about it. So and I guess being able to get comfortable enough to the silence,
right?
Do your own thing, I could do mine. Definitely not too, like, I guess, being able to handle confrontation.
Ooh. So, like, not blowing up just because something was.
I think that is a big one, because I've been in situations where I get yelled at for something that it's like, I just didn't like that,
Right.
I just said I didn't like that. But, yeah, that's a big one. Having a nice conversation, and like we were talking about earlier, like, hey, go take 5 minutes to yourself, and then we can talk again or something like that.
You had to go put them in timeout.
No. Like, you could be like, yeah, I need 5 minutes.
Oh,
10
okay.
minutes.
I thought you were like,
go to the corner.
You need 5 minutes, and you can come back and talk about this later.
No, you could be like, hey, I can't talk about this right now. Give me like half an hour, and I'll come back to you.
Yeah. Well. So, shortlist would be honesty, loyalty, communication.
What's a short way to put that? Or able to handle confrontation.
Ability to handle confrontation.
And then the comfortability side of things.
Right. Able to just be comfortable in silence.
Yes.
With nothing's really awkward around us because this doesn't matter.
Yeah. So
there we go.
What would it be for you?
I can't exactly put that in words.
It is hard.
It's more of a feeling or an energy. Like, if there's only been a handful of women where I can say, I want to date you with 100% confidence. Where it's like,
yeah, big facts.
Or like their energy is like, I find you really attractive, in that sense of like, I can find myself being around you for nonstop and not be annoyed or anything.
Their I guess aura.
Yes.
Definitely has a big thing to play into it. And low key, the smells, the pheromones, and all that. That I'm telling you, Tino, that has a big thing to play in it. Like, I just found this out. It's like very, yeah.
I definitely have some information on that off camera that I'm going to tell you about, but
okay.
I definitely would, like, if they don't smell attractive to me, yeah, that also is like a big thing. Like, and it doesn't matter if you like, oh, you sprayed a perfume, just if I think it smells like ass, it smells like ass. But
but there's like, I don't know how to put it in
a
words.
natural
pheromone. Natural pheromones.
Some
can
pheromones
draw you in.
Yeah, they act as an aphrodisiac.
Yes.
Which is very true, even in the wild animal kingdom.
Yeah, and yeah, I found that out very recently.
Very recently.
Or like, not very recently, like past relationship type,
Okay.
I was like, wow, that's interesting. Because I never noticed that with anybody else.
Really?
Yeah, if I'm being honest. No.
Like, oh man, that's always been a key factor. Because it'll naturally always smell like their place. And I would realize it when I come home and I'm like, Now my house smells different because I realize I'm not in my this is my house. This is what my house smells like. So I was like, I must have been smelling something crazy over there.
Mm-hmm. Like, damn, I want to go back.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what it turned into. I was like, damn, I really want to go back. Like, I caught whiff of it one time recently, and I was like, why did that seem? That seemed really familiar.
Yes,
and it totally was that the of somebody's house or just the scent of a person, and I was like, wow, that was strange.
You know what's crazy to me?
What?
I found some of their old clothes in my car, and they've been sitting there for a long time, and I was like, what is this? You know, it was in like a little pillow sack or something. I don't know. I don't know why it was there, but and then I take them out. I don't even have to like bring it up to my face. Immediately, I'm like, oh yeah, it is theirs.
Yep. It's like you just know exactly what, like you can like recall like, oh, that's them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I definitely feel as if that plays a huge factor. No, it doesn't.
I think it in a
huge
way it
is
does.
crazy.
Not huge, but in a way it has a factor.
In a way, it has a factor. Yes.
It definitely like. I guess in some ways, it could be like a homey kind of vibe to it. Homey.
It's like their smell was so natural, you made it home.
Yeah.
And in that sense of words, they were home.
Mm-hmm.
When I used to think of like pheromones, first off, I always interpreted it in a sexual sense.
Yeah,
which
it can it'll end that way a lot. I feel like it can. Because like, at least in my situation, I was drawn to the pheromones, let's say, and like
the aroma.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
I was more so drawn to it, and it was a lot easier to like, I guess, get in the mood and start things up, you know.
Have you ever smelled something to where you just all of a sudden just felt hot, heavy? We both know what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like and was it the pheromone or the aroma? Was it of a person or was it of a different scent?
I feel like it could be both.
At one time, it was ramen noodles. It was
ramen noodles.
A certain flavor of noodles.
Chicken.
It was like you can only find it in like a real market.
Oh.
Oh man. It was like a lemon.
Real zesty.
It was a zesty lemon. It had a tinge to it, and like I can never eat those noodles again.
Fair enough.
And if I do, like it's like, damn, this is real good.
Real good, Tino.
It was real good. Like I don't know what it is about it. They put the zest in that. Oh man, dude, I can't. I gotta bring the bowl home type shit.
That's funny.
I'm not saying that like I'm gonna be bricked up just eating noodles. No, I'm gonna be like this. But this bowl banging. Right now. This is life.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man, like it just.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
I will say overall. Now this last question officially, I suppose. What do you look forward? What do you believe the second half of this year is going to bring to you?
Ooh, I think it could bring a lot. You know, I'm gonna be working 2 jobs. Hopefully, if this place approves me, getting a place. Be 21. You know, we'll be going out, meeting new people, and vacation. Going to Arizona. I don't. It's gonna bring a lot, and especially if, you know, we all try and plan to go to Japan. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
That would be fire.
Yeah, I keep looking at those videos of food.
I'm like, dang, they got ramen, they got this.
I can go to the convenience store and get me a fish sandwich for like $1. Oh
my gosh. I think Kyle said that I think 18 of our dollars is like
like almost 100.
Yeah, almost 100 for them. Or something like that.
Oh, we're gonna go down there and eat, let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the food aspect and the cultural living and how they treat you.
I was looking at some of their places and they look nice.
They're beautiful
for what they cost.
Dude, I want a tatami mat. Oh, dude.
Oh, probably sounds better than my bed. Honestly. Oh man,
we're gonna go. Yeah, this Japan trip's about to go nuts.
About to go crazy.
Japan coming soon. I'll bring it to y'all. Trust me, I'll vlog it a bit.
Vlog
it up.
No, yeah. Yeah, I think it'll bring a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of answers too. And like I guess finding myself again.
Ooh.
You know.
Yeah.
Getting back to peak me.
Climbing back up. The climb up now. Damn.
So, what about you?
I mean, 21's a big one. I'm not gonna lie. I've spent the last last 3 months really taking that in. Like, this is huge. I'm about to be 21 because 20 was huge.
20 was huge.
So many things happened in year 20 of my life. Can't even put it on the words, which is kind of nuts. Compared to every other year, like, no, this year was packed. Anywho, I'm glad to have you guys. This has been a New Cycle Pod. We had special guest Jordan here today. Glad to have him.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. I'm glad you can make it. And, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And may I see you all next time. Adios, mi amigas and amigos.
Rip takeoff. Wasn't offset.